Ray Riley is the head coach at Invictus Athletics, helping young athletes work towards their goals for post secondary sports. It's great to see you, Ray. I know it's been a while. Hope you've been keeping well given everything going on. Let's start by talking about sort of the goals and the focus with Invictus Athletics and what areas of improvement athletes can expect to see from your program.
Nice to see you, Darren. The goals that we try to do is just athletes try and reach their full potential, whatever that may be. I usually try to get the athletes very, very young and raw so we can get that trust factor together.
A lot of it as well in sport these days, and you know this perhaps better than anybody, is the mental side of things. There's a lot of physically gifted athletes across the region, but the mental side of it, I think, is so important. How do you teach that combination of mental strength and physical strength to young athletes?
I believe it's mostly comes from practice. Just practice what you do every day and just believe in yourself. And how you practice is how you perform.
What are some of those messages that you talk to the kids about just to gain their confidence, right? Or up their confidence? And I think that's something, you're in the starting blocks or it's the face off or the tip off, and you've got to feel primed and ready to go. And I think the mental side of the game, whether it be baseball, lacrosse, track and field, doesn't matter what it is, I really think it's undervalued. And I think it's something that's really great about your program at Invictus, that you're really trying to help with that side of things.
What we do is mostly challenge yourself.
Mhm.
And the only person you can beat is yourself. The only thing you can control is yourself. And once they start getting to an older age, we actually bring in Kim Dawson, who helps them a lot. I believe she's at Wilfrid Laurier, and I've been working with her for well over 5 to 10 years now. And once they hit that starting block at nationals, trying to get on a national team, trying knowing that there's people looking at them for scholarships, that they have the tools to do that, and that starts in practice.
Is that the ultimate end goal? Is helping these youth reach either the NCAA or U Sports? Bottom line, right?
Yes, absolutely. And then some of them don't want to. I've had some that have got there and didn't want to move on, and they're nurses or um, all kinds of different fields.
And I think that comes back to what we were talking about a minute ago, Ray, where you're teaching life skills as well, and you're preparing them for a future, whether it be in sport or whether it be in the working world. How important is that to you? Just creating well rounded people.
It's very, very important to me. And the percentage that actually make it, like everyone has the goal of making the NBA or going to the Olympics, but the percentage is like really, really low. So they just keep working and working, and all these skills go towards anything in life.
I wanted to play for the Leafs. That was my goal, but that was a few years ago now. So when that didn't work out, I was like, you know what, let's get into broadcasting and see what happens with that. I also want to shout out Kim Dawson's son. He's an outstanding volleyball
Yeah.
player who recently committed to the University of New
Right.
Brunswick. So congratulations to the Dawson family. That's certainly amazing. Everybody's been through a challenging time, and COVID is what it is. And obviously, it's been difficult in terms of training. I know that you've been able to get your athletes together. You're working at the University of Guelph on Friday and Sundays in the current government levels and different restrictions that are going on. I think the important thing here to talk about is the resilience of these young athletes and giving them positive messages to understand that sport will come back and games will come back. What have you seen from your group in terms of that, in terms of the resilience and in terms of putting in the work, whether it be at home or with you now that they're able to, just to be ready whenever things do open up?
I'm so proud of my group. They been working so hard and so many disappointments that me myself at that age, I don't know if I would have continued. And we had, I believe, a 6 to 8 week break since the lockdown, and then started up. And we started up last week, and they're stronger than ever. And that just stuff that they do within themselves, which makes me really proud.
I was going to say, what's it like for you to see that? Knowing that your message has been getting across and that they are still working hard, right? You mentioned it. It's tough right now, and it's easy for a lot of athletes to kind of say, "Well, why am I still doing this?" But I think if there's one message that you and I can share with the audience and the people that are listening and watching this are stay focused and stay driven. Do you agree?
I totally agree.
Let's talk about your passion for this, Ray. I've been involved in the local sports community here in Kitchener Waterloo for 15, 16 years, whatever it's been now. I know why I love my job and why I do it. What about you? Why do you love your job? Why do you do it?
Like I said, I like to get them at a young age and to watch them grow and into young women, young men is very satisfying. I'm invited to weddings now, which is really, really nice. And they always give me a shout out to make sure I'm okay through everything as well, which is really, really satisfying.
We're talking about a lot of athletes that you've put on to the next level, whether it be down south or here in Canada. So probably not fair to name names specifically, but can you give us a sense of some of the success stories that you've had seeing some of these athletes move to the next level?
Success stories. It's not even a success story necessarily with the results on the track and field. It's what they do outside that really, really makes me proud.
Ray, this is Black History Month, and I give you a lot of credit for being a community leader here in the region of Waterloo and helping youth and guiding youth and really being a mentor for youth. How would you like to help other Black men in our community work towards becoming leaders?
Just leading by example, showing what they can do. Like I've had volunteer of the year for KW. Also, I'm on the selection committee for the Hall of Fame for Kitchener or for Waterloo Region as well. So showing that you can do these things as well.
15 years is a long time, and you've done, like I said, a wonderful job. And I want to get into your resume and your experience a little bit. I know you've been involved with the Canadian national team as well. Can you just give people a sense of where you came from and why you got involved in what you did? I think it's important for people to understand that you had a wonderful career as well.
Where I started from was really kind of neat because it's like Luke Van Grudel was coach at KW, and he was bothering me to help coach because my daughters were there. I just wanted to take my daughters because I grew up in track and field, and I want them to experience it as well. So that's how I got started, and then it just grew from there.
How proud are you of what you've built at Invictus Athletics? Which seems like a really basic question, but I think when you've got something and you really invest your time, your energy, and all of that into it, and you see it kind of blossom the way it has for you, who knows what the next couple of years holds, and hopefully it continues to grow, and you're able to continue to push athletes on, to the next level. But when you take a look back from a couple of years ago, from where you were to where you are now, what do you think about, Ray?
What honestly feel is I want to go back to the passion of what I did. Like when I started with the Laurel Creek, I started with 5 athletes, and I had like those 5 athletes. We were in the corner doing our own thing, and we just grew from there. I know, like within 2, 3 years, they were grades 6, 7, 8. Within 2, 3 years, that's where it all started with the provincial and national teams with that group. I'd like to go back to that, and that's what I'm doing now, where it's a smaller group. Yeah, I got like the really, really big group, but the smaller group is where I started and where I want to end.
Is that an attention to detail thing that you just get what more one-on-one time with the
Yeah.
athlete and you can really work with them individually and sort of talk to them like we talked about a few minutes ago from the mental and
Mhm.
the physical side? Is that what Invictus is giving individual attention now?
Yes, absolutely. We got to the point where it was just drills, drills, and it works. And the athletes were doing really, really well. But that attention to detail and what you can do is a lot more. And that's what I'm noticing with these athletes right now.
Last one for you, Ray. Is there something you'd like parents or athletes to know about you or Invictus that we didn't talk about here in the last couple of minutes?
Well, what I find with Invictus, with the smaller numbers, is more of a family. What I found with COVID and not being able to do it, it's more of a passion that I really didn't know that just became a routine. And with the times right now, especially in February, with mental and everything that's going on in depression, I really realize how much I really need to get out and actually do what I do best, I feel.
And I look forward to seeing you very soon. Let's hope that things take a turn for the better. I think everybody's hoping for better days ahead. What I can tell you is that you're making a difference in our community with the programs that you run at Invictus Athletics. And I know a lot of young athletes in our region certainly appreciate it. You can find out more about Invictus Athletics on Instagram. Check them out there at Invictus Athletics. Great to see you, Ray. Thanks for the time. And like I said, hopefully we'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
For more highlights, visit our website, 519sportsonline.ca. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.